Hi, House Church kids. It's Katie again, here with all of our activities, ready to just play and learn about Jesus today in your house churches. As you can see, I have lots of fun planned for us today. There's lots of things out here, and we're going to talk about a Bible verse today, have a lot of fun doing some activities that remind me of that Bible verse. We're going to do some Thanksgiving activities too, just because it's November and we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, and we're going to talk about being thankful, being grateful, because that's a theme that's in Jesus's life, and we want to imitate that in our own lives. So let's go ahead and get started with our discussion questions. Discussion question number 1 is, who do you like to pretend to be? So maybe you like to pretend to be a superhero. Maybe you like to pretend to be a princess. Maybe you like to pretend to be your mom or your dad, or someone famous. And I also want to know, like, how do you do it? Do you wear a costume? Do you put on a funny voice? Do you act brave? Do you act silly? So go ahead, pause the video, and talk about who you like to pretend to be and how you do it. Okay, hi. I hope that was fun. Next question and final question. Question number 2 is, what is something you are thankful for this week? Very easy. Take as much time as you want. Let everyone have a turn speaking as long as they'd like, and go ahead and pause and tell everyone in your house church what is something you are thankful for this week. All right, welcome back. We are now going to read a book. So we're going to read this book that I think is fun. Maybe God is like that too. And it's about what God is like, and it's about how things in our world imitate. We're going to hear that word a lot today, imitate God. So let's just read it and we'll talk more about it afterwards. Maybe God is like that too. I live in a city where the sidewalks and subway cars and buildings and buses are packed with people. But I've never seen God before. Have you? Grandma, does God live in the city? I ask one morning at breakfast. Yes, God is here, she says. You just need to know where to look. Whenever you see joy, love, and peace, God is there, she says, stirring her tea. Wherever there's patience, kindness, and goodness, God is there too. When you see faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, that's God's Spirit at work. On the way to school, I'm on the lookout. I see a bus full of tourists, and I count 10 bright yellow taxis. I spy a man sweeping a stoop, and Grandma and I laugh when we see a tiny dog wearing a fluffy purple sweater. At school, Grandma hands me my lunch and hugs me close before she says goodbye. That's what love looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the swings, I pump so hard I see over the wall into the alley. My friends shout, "Higher, higher," as my feet fly way up into the sky. That's what joy looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Outside, car horns blast and sirens scream, but my classroom is quiet and calm. That's what peace looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I try to tie my shoes, but the laces tangle around my finger. My teacher sits down beside me and shows me how to tie them. That's what patience looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the way home, I see a doorman wearing a red cape and a hat with a shiny brim. He's holding the door for a man using a wheelchair. The man moves very slowly, and the doorman chats with him and smiles. That's what kindness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. While I'm setting the table for dinner, there's a knock at the door. It's our neighbor from downstairs bringing us a loaf of bread. It's golden brown and warm and wrapped in a thin white towel. That's what goodness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. After dinner, I work on my homework while Grandma stands at the kitchen sink washing dishes and humming to herself, just like she does every single night. That's what faithfulness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. At bedtime, Grandma sits at the edge of my bed, singing me a lullaby and stroking my head. She tucks my blankets up close around me. That's what gentleness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I lie in bed, watching the curtains flutter. I want to talk about that dog we saw today and how high I can swing. But Grandma says that once I'm tucked in, I have to stay in bed until morning. I close my eyes and try to fall asleep. That's what self-control looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I saw God over and over again today. Whenever I saw joy, love, peace, and wherever there was patience, kindness, and goodness. When I saw faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, I saw God's Spirit at work. I don't see God the way I see my friends or the streetlights or the river, but I see signs of God's Spirit all around me, right here in the city. I know what God is like. Maybe I can be like that too. I think that's the end. Oh. The fruit of the Spirit is joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Galatians 5:22 through 23. And that's the end. That book is so fun. I love it because it talks about how ordinary things in our world are like God. And it talks about, at the end, it talks about maybe we can be like that. So let's talk more about that, but first let's read our Bible verse. Our Bible verse today is from Philippians. Everyone say Philippians. Philippians 4:1. I think that it would be good if you pause the video and had someone in your house church look up Philippians 4:1 and read it to you. Go ahead and pause and read the verse. Welcome back. Now that you've read it, I'm also going to read it to you. Philippians 4:1. Let's find it. Therefore, my brothers, whom I love and long for, my joy and my crown, stand firm, thus in the Lord, my beloved. Did you hear all those nice words that he said? He said, my brothers, love, I long for, you're my joy, you're my crown. And then he encouraged them. And lastly, he said, my beloved. This is a letter that I feel like I could write to you guys right now during this time, because it's kind of a hard time out there. There's a sickness going around, and some people have lost their jobs, and we can't hold the people that we want to hold tight. I can't hold you guys or hug you guys right now. We can't see some of our friends. Some of us can't go to school right now. There's a lot going on. And I feel like this is a letter that I would love to write to you right now. So if you have extra time today or sometime this week, I just want to encourage you to consider writing a letter or coloring a picture and sending it to someone you love who you haven't seen in a while. Maybe someone from church that you haven't seen in a while. Just to remind them that you love them and you're hoping that they can stand firm with Jesus right now. Okay, so yeah, maybe do that. If you have time in your house church today, do it together, and I'd be happy to send those for you. Otherwise, consider doing it together as a family this week. Okay, we are going to talk about that Bible verse. And this Bible verse says therefore in it. So it says stand firm, but first it says therefore. And the therefore points to something in the Bible that talks about imitating Jesus. So we're going to talk a lot about standing firm in imitating Jesus today. So, imitate. What does that word mean? Let's pause the video here and talk about, does anyone know what the word imitate means? Or does anyone even have any guesses? If anyone knows, go ahead and pause the video right here and tell each other what you think the word imitate means. Okay, welcome back. I hope some of you had some good ideas about what it means to imitate. We talked about imitating when we talked about who we like to pretend to be. And I want to talk about what it means when we're talking about it in this verse, when we're talking about imitating Jesus. So God made you and everyone in your house church and everyone in the world in his image. And now in our lives, he helps us to continue to look more like him. So when we imitate God, we're really just being who he intended us to be. And when life is difficult, we can encourage each other in our house church, our friends, our brothers and sisters in Christ. We can encourage each other to stand firm in being like Jesus, to not move. Stand firm means don't move, like keep trying to be like Jesus. So we're going to real quick play a game. Not real quick, do it as long as you'd like. We're going to play a game called Simon Says Yoga. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have to stand firm. And you're going to have to imitate these poses. So we're covering both those here in this game. I've made some cards here that have yoga poses on them. And what I want you to do is play a game where maybe the leader holds these cards and we'll say, Simon says giraffe pose. And they're going to do giraffe pose and you're going to all imitate. So if you know how Simon Says goes, that game also means that if they say all of a sudden, they're going to try to trick you and say flamingo pose. And if you do flamingo pose, guess what? You lost because they didn't say Simon Says. So go ahead and play, as long as you'd like, play a game of Simon Says Yoga and think about imitating these poses and standing firm while you do these poses. And go ahead and pause the video, have fun playing right here. Welcome back. Okay, I hope that you had so much fun doing yoga. Some of those poses I know were really hard. It was hard to keep your balance maybe. And just in the same way, sometimes it's hard to imitate Jesus because we're not perfect. But God will help us stand firm. God will help us learn to be like him. He has things like the Bible that teach us what Jesus is like. He has his Holy Spirit who helps us. He also gives us our community, these people around you right here who help you, just like in this book. In the book that we read, where everyone was doing really simple things to point to Jesus and what God is like. Also, Paul, who wrote this Bible verse, was writing to his community and encouraging them during a hard time, saying, stand firm. And we can do that for each other too. Okay, let's read the Bible verse again because we're going to talk about another aspect of it. Philippians 4:1. Therefore, my brothers, whom I love and long for, my joy and my crown, stand firm thus in the Lord, my beloved. We are going to now get out our Play-Doh. Here's our Play-Doh. Yours is in a jar. Good luck spooning that out of there. And I made this Play-Doh at my house. So I'd love for you to keep it at your house church and play with it every time this month. And it is pumpkin spice flavored. I mean, it is pumpkin spice scented Play-Doh. And what I want you to do with this Play-Doh is just build whatever you want. Everybody grab a chunk and build something that can stand tall. Build something with a firm foundation that can stand tall. And have fun knocking it over, have fun squishing it and doing it all over again. And just think about this verse while you work and play. Think about standing firm. Maybe you could make something and your friends could try to make the same thing. Or maybe you could make something and they could try to guess what it is. Yeah, have fun doing that. And afterwards, I also have another activity with the Play-Doh that has a Thanksgiving theme to it. I've left in your bags this little baggie, which is full of feathers and googly eyes and one more thing. Oh, and beaks. All you need to make your own Play-Doh turkey is in this bag. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a chunk of Play-Doh and roll it into a ball. And if you have younger kids, someone's going to need to help them. So someone help those little kids in your church make their turkey head and body and stick them together. Wow, even I'm not that good at this. Good luck, guys. It's hard. Okay, so here's my turkey head and turkey body, and you're gonna give your turkey a good little turkey beak. There's his beak. And my turkey needs eyes to see. So I'm gonna give him 2 eyes. 1, 2. Okay, he's not looking bad right now. He's looking a lot better. Stick that further in. And feathers, which have a pointy end, can give him little turkey feathers. And now, instead of looking as ridiculous as when I started, he looks pretty good. So have fun making some, I love him, making some Thanksgiving turkeys and talking more about things that you're thankful for. Okay? Here you go, little guy. You can just sit right there. Let's see if there's anything else going on today. Yeah, there's also a coloring sheet that I left in there. So get out some crayons or markers or colored pencils and have fun coloring. And yeah, consider doing a letter this week to one of your friends. And have fun with your house church today. I wish I could see you. I hope that you are enjoying being together every week in these houses. And let me know if you need anything for your house church kids at all. And I would happily help you out. Also, I forgot, I gave you guys donuts today. I hope you guys all enjoyed your donuts. I know we're going to enjoy ours today. And I'll see you guys next week.